Hello guys, welcome back to mathematics. Today we are going to check how to solve linear equation with one variable. This is an algebra topic. So let's first remember what is an equation. So an equation is a math expression, so it's gonna involve numbers, maybe some letters, signs of multiplication, addition, mathematics operations, and includes an equals sign. This means that is something equals to another expression. Let's say 3 plus 2 equals 5. This is already an equation because it has an equals in the middle, and it's telling you that what's on the left it's the same, or it has the same value as what you find in the right side. Sometimes it also could include some letters or several letters. They are still equations. What does it mean when it says linear? When it says linear, it means that the power of the unknown value, it doesn't have exponents. That is, the exponent is 1. For example, x plus 2 is equals to 5. Notice that it doesn't have any exponent here, which means it's basically a 1. What wouldn't be a linear equation? For example, square root of x plus 3 equals 1. It shouldn't have a square root, or is not allowed to have logarithms. That wouldn't be a linear equation either. It couldn't have powers different from 1, like x squared plus x plus 1 equals 0. It's not a linear equation. So just the ones that have variables without any exponents and just additions and subtractions between unknown variables. And finally, with one variable. With one variable, it means that there's just one unknown quantity. Since we use letters to represent the unknown variables, that would be that they have just one letter. For example, a plus 2 is equals 7. Or 3x minus 2 is equals 10. That would be linear equations with one variable. Let's see an example that it wouldn't have just one variable. For example, if you have 7x plus 8y equals to 5, that is not already with one variable because it would have two of them. So just the one that has just one variable are going to be considered in this video. But what do we mean when it says solving an equation? Well, solving an equation means to find the value of the unknown variable that makes the statement true. For example, let's say we have this equation a plus 3 equals 5. Solving the equation would be to find a value for a that makes this statement to be true. That is, if we change the a for the value that we are going to find, this left side would be equals to the right side. So in this case, it's easy. We just need a 2 to add to the 3 in order to get the 5. That means the value of a should be 2. If a equals 2, the statement is true. So that is the solution of the equation. 5x minus 3 is equals to 7. Remember, when we don't have a sign, it means multiplication. So we need to find a number that when you subtract 3, you get 7. So this thing should be 10. That means x should be 2. 5 times 2 is 10, minus 3 is 7. That would make the statement true. And finally, this one, 3 minus something is 1. That something should be 2. So this should have the value of 2. But one number multiplied by 2 get 2. Just the 1. So that means C has to be 1. 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 minus 2 is 1. That would make the statement true. So we call them the solutions of the equations. For these examples, it's just checking the equation to find the value that it should be good to solve the equation. But sometimes it's not that easy. Maybe we can have the x in 2 times at the same time, so it's going to get a little harder. What we should do in these cases is try to bring everything with the x to one side of the equals, let's say to the left, and everything that doesn't have the x to the other side of the equals. How could we do that? Then, if we know that this is exactly the same as this, then doing the same operation of both sides would be also true. For example, if we have that 5 is equals to 5, if we subtract 2, both sides, the results are also going to be the same because we started from the same value. We are going to do the same here. If we know that 5x plus 3 is the same thing as 24 minus 2x, then we should be able to do the same operation both sides. So, since I want to bring the 3 to the right, I want to get rid of it. The 3 is adding here, so I should use the opposite operation. So I could say that I'm going to subtract 3 both sides. That means the 3 would cancel here with the minus 3, and we would end up with the 5x alone on the left side. We could also do this operation. 24 minus 3 is 21. Notice that we have already reduced the equation. Now, the 2x, we want to bring it to the left. So we should do the opposite operation that the 2x is doing. The 2x is subtracting, so we should add them, both sides. Here, it would get cancelled, and then we would have just the 21 on the right side, and on the left side, we could add them together since they both have x. 2x plus 5x is 7x. Now, remember when we don't have any operation here, this means a multiplication. Since we want to know the value of the x, we want to leave it alone. We want to isolate it. So we should do the opposite operation that the 7 is doing. 7 is multiplying, so we will divide by 7. And since I did it on the left side, I have to do it on the right side. That would cancel the 7 out, and then we would get x equals to 21 divided by 7 is 3. So x equals 3 is the value that would satisfy the initial equation. Let me show you something, guys. It's because sometimes people say, okay, this 3 is adding. Why don't you just bring it on the other side, doing the opposite operation? So it's adding, it would go to subtract 10 minus 3, and then you just rewrite the 5x. So you will get 5x is equals to 7. This is correct, guys, because notice that if we do the opposite operation both sides, that is actually what happens. 5x is equals to 7. It's the same process, but you need to be very careful when you use this, because people sometimes say, for example, because the 3 is adding, I just bring it to subtract in the other side, and it's going to give me something like this. This would be wrong, guys. Why? Because if you do the opposite operation both sides, that would be this minus 3 both sides. Notice that here you get, yes, the 7, but in this one you are not able to cancel this because we have this denominator, so we wouldn't be able to do it. So my advice is, at the beginning, while you dominate these changes of signs, do it with the 2 operations on both sides. That would make you to have less mistakes. Let's work on some examples. Okay, in this one we have a parenthesis. We should solve it first. So we use the distributive rule. 5x plus 5 times x is 5x, 5 times 3 is 15, equals to 36 minus 2x. Okay, I'm going to add 2x both sides, plus 2x. Here I would get cancelled, so we would get 36. 2x plus 5x, it would be 7x plus 15. Now I need to cancel this 15. The only operation is the plus, so yes, I could take it to the other side, just doing the opposite operation. Need to be careful when we can do it. So 7x is equals to 21. And finally, x is equals to 21. The 7 is multiplying. I bring it to divide. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So x equals 3 is the solution. You can always test it, guys. So if you put 5 times 3 plus 3, you would get the parentheses, make me to do this operation first. So 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So we will have 30 in this side. And 36 minus 2 times 3. 2 times 3 goes first since it's a multiplication. And 36 minus 6 is 30. So the solution is correct. Let's check this one. I'm going to take the 5 to the other side, so I subtract 5 both sides. It would give me 2m over 3 equals to 4, since this one gets cancelled. I'm going to multiply by 3 both sides. So here we will get cancelled. 2m is equals 12. And I'm finally going to divide by 2. So it gets cancelled here, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6, it will be the solution. Let's check it very quick. 2 times 6 over 3 plus 5. This is 12 over 3 plus 5, which is 4 plus 5, which is actually 9. It's correct. Okay guys, this is the time for you to practice. Pause the video, try to solve them, and come back to check your answers. Okay, in this one, the minus 2m, I'm just going to bring it to add. That would be 7m equals 28, and that will be m is 28 divided by 7, which is 4. So the answer is 4. And for this one, we are going to do the multiplication. The x, I'm going to bring it to add. The 10, I'm going to bring it to add to the other side too. And then we finally divide 24 by 6, which is 4. Both answers were 4. Okay guys, that was all for this video. Hope it was useful. Don't forget to subscribe, do your own lessons with me if you want, and let me any questions or any other topic that you want me to explain in the comments box. Bye bye guys, see you next time.